programs and services to develop and foster entrepreneurship. Also to help with the streamlining of permits and business licenses, number one. Second, utilizing tax income and finance dollars to incentivize people either acquiring commercial properties or starting new businesses. And the third, our campaign has called for the introduction of an ordinance to have the 10th Ward considered a free trade zone where we can either reduce or eliminate the city sales tax so that our businesses can be more competitive with the south suburbs in Northwest Indiana.
The objective of TIF funds is to entice small businesses and to create jobs within blighted communities. I would use TIF money to do that, to entice small businesses to come to Jeffrey Manor and to come to places within our ward. We currently have, just from the year 2014, we have $25.8 million in TIF money that's sitting there. We sent $8 million to build a road to Walmart in Pullman that's not even in our ward. That money could be utilized here. I would have a community benefits agreement with corporations or businesses that come here that would ask them to hire between 40 and 50% of constituents that live in our ward to be hired at that business and give them tax breaks as well to come here. We need to entice business to come. We can use that TIF money to do that, and we can make sure that our residents get jobs within those businesses.
Oh, yeah.
I agree with the TIF wholeheartedly what Sue said, that's part of it. I will work with corporate investors from Chicago, not from China, not from Europe, like our mayor is doing right now. Bringing in people. We have the best secret here. We have a Silicon Valley here. I'm going to read out this. We're being gentrified right now for that simple reason in the 10th ward. We have the largest ward. We have a river they're going to develop on. We have the lake they're going to try to take where I live. Large areas, what we want to do. Our young children are the future. We have a Silicon Valley here for our children, like they did in California. Our children are the secret. They know what to do. Since I started this campaign, they've been talking about windmills. Mr. Corona, I have something different than the windmills. Another young man, I have, with the solar energy, we have the companies over here, not from out of state. We got to quit the politics. Chicago, the Windy City, we could do it here because of the lake. The area we have in the 10th Ward is tremendous. They have a plan, and we're not included in it. Thank you.
In order to bring more business to the Jeffrey Manor neighborhood, we need to continue to work together with residents, businesses, and organizations. As has been said, we need to take advantage of those tools, those viable tools that attract businesses, TIF dollars, enterprise dollars, grants, 202 dollars from the federal government will allow for Porticelli next door to be built. Those are tangible ways to get businesses. Discounting property values. If the city owns land, we can give that property away for as little as $1. That's how you bring businesses in. And you've got to be conscious, not just bringing businesses in, but making sure we get a nice match. You've got to work with the community to find out what they want and don't want. That's why we have a liquor moratorium throughout the ward, so we don't have unwanted liquor stores coming into the community. But if you want businesses, you want to get your residents to get jobs too. That's why I promoted and supported job readiness programs. We've had job fairs. We started the college to careers program right here at Olive Harvey so that our people here are ready to get the jobs that are part of the future.
Thank you. Very creative. We appreciate that. The next question, we're going to shift gears a little bit. We want to know, we have some gang issues in our community. We want to know, what do you plan to do regarding crime, specifically gang-related crime in our area? We'll start on the end with you, John.
I think we continue to do some of the things we've been doing in the Jeffrey Manor. First of all, getting common sense, reasonable gun laws and hold people accountable. But also, let's be smart and not have laws that improperly imprison people for minor offenses. We have too many of our youth going to jail for small offenses. We need to concentrate on our efforts there. We need to bring more police on the force. We need to get more police off of the desk and onto the street where their training can be utilized. And this is a holistic approach. We just can't rely on the police. We need organizations like this who are the eyes and ears of the community. We need to do things like I said earlier, have crime cameras in there, get education for the youth so they're not referring to a life of crime. And we need to get people to be responsible for their kids by getting them jobs, keeping them in school. I'm proud to have the endorsement of Congresswoman Kelly. I'm proud to have the endorsement of the gun lobby, the anti-gun lobby, the Gun Prevention PAC, who believes in me and knows my track record for fighting crime. We've been successful in that. The 10th Ward, we've seen a decrease in crime. Throughout the city, there has been some increases, but we need to keep that level down.
I know some of this turns into like a little campaign speech sounding, but we'd like to wrap at the end so we can serve our time, okay? Yes, Frank.
In my introduction, I told you I was with the court advocacy group, and I'm here to recruit. We need help. We don't have enough members of the court district. I plan to work closely with the Chicago Police Department, with the district commanders, to develop solutions to alleviate and face the crime we're having right here. I would expand the drug-free zones around our schools. In the last year, 1/3 of the crimes reported to the Chicago Police Departments were narcotics related. I would also work with the neighborhood clinics to establish additional programs with people and seek information. I'm not going to say we need more police officers on the street. We do, that's apparent. But we have to take our neighborhoods back ourselves through CAPS, through block clubs. That's the way we did it where I live on 104th. Presently, I'm working with the 104th and G block club. Don't depend on the police. We have to take back our...
For over 15 years, I've been the program director for Highbush Community Committee, and I brought over $370,000 in grant money to service after-school programs and summer jobs for youth. We need to address the issue. Our kids have nowhere to go. Our kids have nothing to do. We can't even buy a book in our neighborhood. I've worked with kids who've been in the juvenile justice program. These kids are joining gangs because they don't have parents at home or they don't have mentors. We need to give them the opportunity to give positive alternatives. We need to give them a chance. There's no such thing as a bad kid. It's kids that don't have opportunities. I've worked with kids from the bush to Hegwish. And those kids, once you give them the opportunity to flourish, they do. They do. And I really believe that if we can use some of this money that's there, TIF money, sorry. Sorry.
Police department is currently down between 2,000 and 3,000 officers, depending on who you speak with. So not only do I call for the hiring of the additional police, but identifying, allocating, and appropriating those dollars to hire more police, making sure that we maintain media integrity with our officers in their beats where they belong. Call for the increased funding of our CAPS budget so that we have strong neighborhood police community relations. I also call for the establishment of neighborhood radio patrols, that we will utilize both retired police officers and veterans to help be an extra set of eyes and ears in our community. The development of a pastoral council, where we engage all the local churches in our ward and encourage them to have their doors open during the daytime for seniors and in the evening for youth programs. And as a father, government can't solve all these problems. We know there's brokenness in homes and families. I will help galvanize the dads in this ward, in this community, to link up arms so that we can invest in those young men and those young women that need help in our community.
You're probably going to cut me off because I got tons with this. As a police officer, I have had the benefit of seeing the side of patrol before I got hurt and had to do administration. But as patrol officer, I have seen things that you can fix to bring the community back. And right now, I think what's going on in Jeffrey Manor is there's a gang war going on between LAFA, which are like the Oglesby homes in South Deering, and the Merrill Park boys, which is out this way. The gang war is a huge issue. Shootings are up, homicides are down. So don't be fooled by the statistics when they tell you that crime is actually decreased. It's not. Doctors are just better at saving lives. Okay? The violence is out of control. I also think that to get the community involved and revitalize the CAPS program and put the CAPS program back in touch with the people and getting everybody on the same page and working together is priority number one in saving our streets and saving our youth. I'm I'm the mother of 3 young sons, and, oh, no. I had so I got lots.
I think the issue is a very complex issue, and I think it's irresponsible to go to very simplistic, crowd-pleasing answers for this issue. First of all, the University of Chicago's Crime Lab just released in December a study where they were able to give 1,600 youths from Chicago the promise of a summer job and summer jobs. And that study was able to, within that study, we learned that the crime rate dropped 43% when youth feel that they are valuable. Just by giving them the training, they feel like they have an opportunity to do something else because joining a gang is free. And we need programs for young people so that they have an alternative to join these gangs. And I believe very strongly that every dollar that goes to put more police on the street is not going to address the root causes of these problems, and that is the fact that young people don't have jobs. They don't have jobs and they don't have opportunities so they can be successful in life.